start off the top with breaking news. Right now there's police activity, heavy police presence in the area of Murray and Galley in Colorado Springs. Streets are blocked right there. We have had reports of 2 officers down. No confirmation what their status is this evening. I just want to reiterate the evacuation zone for the Hanover fire. That includes the areas, we just hear those sirens past Chase there in his live shot as we pan over, see those smoke plumes come that direction. The wind is blowing towards Chase. Yeah, lots of hail being dumped in a lot of areas. A big impact seen in Fountain. As you remember, that very area was hit really hard about a month ago with a very severe hailstorm. Today, the stones were a little bit smaller, more of the pea-size variety, but they have really piled up. We want to go out live to our own Chase Golightly, who is there watching people shovel. This literally looks like Christmas in July. An apartment complex in Colorado Springs after shots were fired. A standoff with that suspect just ended moments ago. Schools are out for the summer, and that means students will likely get involved in summer camps. KRDO News Channel 13's Katie Donovan found a unique and fun one at Wings Like Eagles. You might want to check it out. Hey, Saturday we saw some off and on snow. It was bluebird skies and then sideward snow. The high country, though, really got a dumping of snow. CDOT safety patrol trucks can be life-saving. There it is right there. If your car breaks down, if you run out of gas, if you have a flat tire or are in an accident, they're designed to come to the rescue. But we hardly have any here. One. I decided to look into it to find out why can't we fix that. Ms. Barton, are you willing to say anything to the victims? More than 1,000 victims who suffered from this fire. Layers of barbed wire surrounds the fortress, guard towers on each and every corner. Every move is watched. Security is so tight here at Supermax, media has not been allowed inside for more than 10 years, including us. Only the steel structures remain. Those firefighters will stay on this scene for hours to come tonight. And like you just said, Bart, this fire is not that large in size. It's estimated to be 15 to 20 acres in size. But with that, it was fierce and fast. Some homes can sit on the condemned list for years. Take this home. It's been on the condemned list for 7 years and yet has been in disrepair, according to a neighbor, for decades longer than that. City leaders say it all comes down to money. There are 3 areas in El Paso County that not only have partial quiet zones, but 24-hour quiet zones, like here in Monument, here in Fountain, and in Security. There are no quiet zones here in Colorado Springs, the second most populous city in the state. Now check this out. The median along Interstate 25 is flooded. This is near exit 119 and the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Traffic backed up for miles. President Trump is doubling down, targeting another name on his hit list of intelligence officials, past and present, at risk of losing their security clearance. And there you can see the Thunderbirds are now flying over Falcon Stadium. Such joy, such happiness there. All the cadets now commissioned as second lieutenants in the Air Force. It's not a quick fix making the repairs here to 30th Street. There are a number of issues. For one, the lack of shoulder space on this side of the road, and then on the other side you have this giant hill where traffic engineers are worried about the stability of that soil. During the fires that we had here in El Paso County, he was the voice of calm during both the Waldo Canyon and Black Forest fires. And then it was in 2014 that all these charges surfaced against the sheriff at that time, not to mention the alleged affairs that he had with female subordinates. You might remember that bathroom selfie that made the rounds. Of course, the sheriff at the time, Terry Makita, issued an apology that was sent to employees at the sheriff's office, apologizing for his poor conduct. Of course, that's not what this case centered around. More on the Makita trial here. We are expected to learn more if there will be a retrial on this very case February 27th. So in a number of weeks, we will learn if prosecutors will bring this back to the table for a potential 3rd time against former El Paso County Sheriff Terry Makita. Much more to come on this. We will have analysis coming your way in just a matter of minutes. In the meantime, we are following additional breaking news. Right now, we want to follow up on that police activity in the area of Murray and Galley in Colorado Springs. Streets are blocked there in the area. We have heard reports of 2 officers down, again, near Galley and Murray in the south central part of Colorado Springs. And tonight, we pause to remember the man who died serving and protecting this community, Deputy Micah Flick. It was 11 years ago today, Deputy Flick started his service with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office.
11 years serving. 11 years making our community a safer place. This day started like any other, ending like no one imagined.
Good evening, everybody. It is with profound sadness that I say that this afternoon, Deputy Micah Flick, 34 years old, was shot in the line of duty and has died.
Micah Flick, 34 years old. The detective worked his way through the ranks, starting at the Criminal Justice Center and Patrol.
Very, very well liked, very, very well respected.
Deputy Flick was an outstanding member of my agency, and he will be missed.
Deputy Flick is survived by his wife and twins, 7 years old. A grief never as deep as this. On this side of eternity is one place that houses the country's worst criminals. For some, it's the last stop before they meet their maker. They've earned their way here. Their monstrous deeds on Earth buy them a ticket to Supermax. But who are they?
If your name is the something, you are probably going to be at the Florence ADX.
Their names as infamous as the prison in which they live. You wouldn't notice if you're not looking for it. Highway 67 drawing a line in the arid landscape. But behind that hill, Supermax is unmistakable. Removed from society, just like the prisoners inside it.
Layers of barbed wire surrounds the fortress, guard towers on each and every corner. Every move is watched. Security is so tight here at Supermax, media has not been allowed inside for more than 10 years, including us.
Inside, inmates call a 7 by 12-foot cell home. They're kept in this box of poured concrete 23 hours a day. A twin-sized bed, stool, table, shelf, toilet. Their shower on a timer. Their window to the outside, 4 inches wide, only looks to the sky. If an inmate tries to escape,
They can hit an emergency button and lock 1,400 doors simultaneously.
Larry Nutter used to be a psychotherapist within the prison system.
The lights are never turned off. There is a TV camera on you 24 hours a day. You sit there. That is your life. It's Groundhog Day.
Hard to believe that the people of Florence actually wanted it, didn't mind America's worst in their own backyard. In fact, they raised $160,000 to buy the land for Supermax.
It was a prison-style gold rush, a federal prison promising 1,000 jobs for those here. It didn't take long for the more than 400-cell prison to open 24 years ago, and for the darkest of criminals to arrive. The Federal Bureau of Prisons knew it needed a prison that could handle violent offenders. Thomas Silverstein, he's the reason behind Supermax. He killed 3 people behind bars, including a correctional officer, while he was in solitary confinement in Marion, Illinois. Marion itself, a replacement for Alcatraz. Silverstein and more than 400 criminals live here, men whose crimes elevate them to household names. 9/11 conspirator Zacarias Moussaoui, shoe bomber Richard Reed, Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, Boston bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, Oklahoma City bombing conspirator Terry Nichols, FBI spy Robert Hansen. Not always was it the most secure. Years ago, budget cuts left guards exposed.
I don't ever see somebody getting out of there.
Mark Andres is a registered nurse working in 17 prisons, one of them Supermax.
I never worried about my safety working with the people I did. it's impossible to freely walk around. And it's literally designed so when you come out into the hallways, they all look the same.
Every hallway, every day, the same. No longer at the prison, Andre says the monotony can break a person.
The self-mutilation, the self-harm, it's extreme.
But for some, it's not all isolation. You behave, you get to know other inmates.
The leader of the black gangster disciples here. And then you'll have a guy that's a white supremacist gang here. I mean, these guys are like top dogs, right? And they play chess.
For all, though, they've lost in the game of life, removed, erased from society, surrounded by beauty, but unable to see any of it.